where we encourage young people to achieve their very best outside of the game. Today, we have another awesome guest, a young women's softball player, Miss Sanai Price. Sanai, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi, I'm Sanai Price. I'm going to be a senior at Olympic High School in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Thank you, Sanai, for joining us today. We're going to get right into the questions. Again, you said you're from Charlotte. Is that where you're originally from?
Yes, I was raised here, but I was actually born in New Jersey.
Okay, all right. When did you start playing softball?
I started playing softball when I was 8. I started with 8U and moved forward from then.
All right. What position do you play?
I play shortstop, second base, and all outfield positions.
You've played a little travel ball as well as for your school teams?
Yes, I played for my school since 7th grade and in high school. And outside of school, I played for travel. I played since I was in 12U, travel ball.
Okay. Have you played any other sports?
I temporarily did track. I played basketball before and soccer.
All right. So I guess it'll be safe to assume that softball was your favorite sport then,
Yes.
huh? Do you have any aspirations to play softball beyond high school or college?
Yes, I aspire to play in college at a four-year university. Any division really, I just really want to strive for a scholarship.
All right. I will ask this. What are some things you've done to outside of just practice? Some people think it's just going to come showing up to practice. What are some things that you've been able to do over your years of playing softball to help, prepare you or even help you to be better at the game? What are some things you do outside of your team practices?
Yeah, so I work with myself. I go to the field. I live right near the field, about 25 feet away, practicing the batting cages, going to the gym, emailing college coaches, going to college camps. They can see you and interact, handing out profile sheets, and just introducing myself to college coaches and people who have connections so that, like, when the time comes, people who know who I am and I have the opportunity to meet and possibly get offers and interests from colleges.
That's good. That's good. What are some of your greatest memories or accomplishments as a high school softball player?
In high school, my freshman year, we won conference. So that was a pretty big memory because they hadn't won conference in about 5 years. And I was just a freshman, a starting freshman on varsity. So that was a really big accomplishment. And I've also won a couple of travel ball tournaments, championships. So those have been some good memories I've had through my years of playing.
Wow. So you just mentioned as a freshman, you were able to start on the varsity team.
Yes.
What did that feel like? Were there any obstacles in being that freshman on the varsity team? What was that like? What was that experience like?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the season, I didn't start. There was four of us freshmen on varsity. There was about 15 girls on the team, and during practice and stuff, I tried to earn my spot. I eventually took over the shortstop position, did the middle or end of the year, and I came to be first batter, leading the team in some averages, and it ended up being a good season. We played in playoffs. And we ended up winning conference. So we've been the underdog all playoffs. Another school called Providence had been winning for recent years, and for our seniors, it was a really good way for them to go out because they hadn't won conference while they were there. So it was some challenges, but overall, it was pretty fun. I learned a lot. The seniors were really helpful, and I think it really prepared me for the rest of high school ball.
That's good. That's good. So you spoke earlier on playing some travel ball. What are some places that you've been able to go to outside of Charlotte while playing traveling ball?
Yeah, so last summer, even through COVID, I was able to go to Tennessee, Florida. I've been to Georgia, Virginia. Um, I usually go up and down South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia. But the farthest place I've been is probably Florida. We played in a tournament down there, but it rained a lot.
Did
So
it?
that one was canceled. But yeah, Tennessee was probably the biggest and best tournament you've been to. It was a week-long tournament. We did pretty good. We stayed till Thursday. And we had a pretty good turnout. It was a pretty good season. And every summer and fall, I usually travel on the weekends for travel softball. And yeah, we go up and down the South Line. It's pretty enjoyable.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What was outside of enjoyable tournaments? What was one of the most enjoyable places that you visited?
The most enjoyable place would probably be It might be Florida. I think
Florida.
Florida's fun, even though it's hot. It's a lot of stuff to do, beaches and nice weather. And I just think like their atmosphere there. I just really like the atmosphere. And they have a lot of stuff to do in Florida, so it's pretty fun.
That's good. Did you face any obstacles transitioning from, middle school to high school when it pertained to playing the sport? Did you face any obstacles?
Um, Obstacles. It wasn't really a lot of obstacles. It was really earning your spot because I didn't start in the beginning of the year and I had to not wait my turn, but earn my spot and prove that I was, capable of playing on varsity as a freshman and just working my way up until I earned a starting spot in the lineup. So that was probably the biggest obstacle I faced coming into high school because middle school softball was all right. It was not it was not like the highest level of softball ever. Our conference wasn't, the strongest. But coming to high school, just earning your spot and gaining everyone's respect and knowing that you can play on a level that everyone else is playing in high school softball.
Okay. And we're about to go to a break in a second tonight, but I'm going to just ask you the last question for young people that may be looking at doing some traveling ball. Are there some downsides or would you say it's all pros to being on the traveling team? Are there some things that you have to get used to being away from home and traveling? Just explain a little bit what that experience was being on the traveling team.
Yeah, so I think it's really fun. It's a great experience. You get a lot of relationships and friendships, but it is a sacrifice. You will not be at home on weekends, and your friends will be out at the mall, and you will be playing the sports you love. And I feel like if you really want to go somewhere, you need to play travel softball and devote your time to something that can get you to the next level. Because if you don't want the sacrifice that it's going to take to not be at home and have to be away from your friends and family sometimes, and not being able to hang out like all your other friends do, it takes sacrifice. And I think that if it's something you really want to do and you gain enough friendships and relationships that it's fun for you, then I really think it's a really good thing to participate in because I really enjoy it. And I think it was really a key part of growing up. I feel like it taught me a lot of lessons and, so you don't make all the teams you try out for and it doesn't always go your way, tournaments, defense, offense. But I think overall it's a really good experience to partake in when you're young and growing up in high school.
Well, that's awesome, Sanai. And we thank you for answering all our questions thus far. I'm sure for those that's watching or even listening, they've gained some good information pertaining to playing travel softball or even just playing softball in general. So as you all know, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be back with more questions for Miss Sanai Price, and we'll get in a little bit into her grades and how she does in school right after this break.
Come on down to Push Nutrition, 3441 North Main Street, Sweet. Come on down to Push Nutrition, brand new you with the brand new look. You know who to call when you need a push. Get the mission, Push Nutrition.
Everybody knows who we are. Hop inside the car, put the key in the ignition, and ride the Hope Mills to Push Nutrition. If you ain't never been, boy, you don't know what you missing.
Come on down to Push Nutrition, Push Nutrition, Push Nutrition. Come on down to Push Nutrition, Push Nutrition, Push Nutrition.
Come on down to Push Nutrition, located at 3441 North Main Street, Suite B, Hope Mills, North Carolina, where all of your nutritional needs are met. You need shakes, healthy snacks, coaching, weight loss motivation, meal planning. Push Nutrition has it all. What are you waiting for? Come on down. That's 3441 North Main Street, Suite B, Hope Mills, North Carolina. See you soon.
So once again, this is Antoine Rogers, and I'm back with the second half of this episode where we're speaking to a young lady out of Charlotte, North Carolina. She's a women's softball player. She's in her senior year in high school, Miss Sanai Price. So if you're ready, Sanai, we're going to get right into our second half of questions. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So some athletes strictly focus on sports or school. Hopefully they're being student athletes and also focusing on school. But we're going to try to get into what do you do in your spare time? Do you do anything outside of the sport or school? What do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I like to shop. I like to hang out with friends. I did that a lot outside of school and softball because, jam-packed schedule, you have to find time just to have a sense of normalcy with your friends and family. And I also like to listen to music. I like to watch other sports too. I like enjoying basketball, football, and yeah, that's what I like to do outside of my softball in school.
Okay. Do you have favorite teams in some of those sports?
Yeah, my favorite team is the Lakers. I love LeBron. And football, the hometown team, the Panthers. Baseball, I don't really watch baseball like that, but I like the Dodgers. Football, basketball, that's my favorite main sports.
Okay, cool. That's cool. I like hearing you saying that you're a Lakers fan. I love my Lakers. I hopefully we'll recover.
Yeah.
So now let's get into school, because the goal with the show in itself is just to really challenge our young athletes to look at their lives outside of the game. It is awesome to be great on the field. However, too often for me as a fan now, I get to see athletes who are top level in high school, top level in college. Some don't make it to another level, and then they've done no focusing on their life outside of the sport. The sport became their identity. So when that sport is taken from them, they don't know what to do with their life. So I believe it's important, one, for young athletes to focus on their grades and what they're going to do even beyond the sport. So we're going to get into grades, if you don't mind talking about those things. What are your grades currently in school?
So right now I have a 4.3 GPA, straight A's, and I'm ranked 25th out of 600 in my class.
Wow, that is awesome, Sanai. Today, I got to pause you all. That is a perfect example of being able to play a sport at a high level while still focusing on your grades. And I just want this to be an example to many young athletes. If you're just starting on the elementary end or going into middle school, you can do both. You can get the work in on the field. This young lady has been playing travel ball, has played in high school and everything, but she's still maintaining her grades, because ultimately, even when that sport is gone, it's going to be about how you educated yourself and prepared your life thereafter. So great job, Sanai. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
What are some of your personal habits for maintaining good grades, especially being an athlete also? What are some of your personal habits? Some people learn naturally. Some people really have to put in the work. Some of the people that have good grades, some have to put in a lot of work to maintain those good grades. For you, what is some of your habits for maintaining good grades?
Yeah, so one of my biggest things is time management. I know everyone preaches this coming into high school, even college. I set aside time to study, do my homework. I make sure I get the things that I need to get done before going to practice and hang out with friends, making sure I have my priorities straight. So when I have assignments due, I get them done a day or two in advance, so I'm not backed up or procrastinating so they're getting late. Um, I like to plan out and write down what I have to do, my notes, my reminders, something just to remind me assignments that are due. I make sure that I ask questions when I need to know or when I'm unsure, so I don't get confused or need help last minute, because those are the ways that you get behind and you get late assignments, and that's not something you want to do in high school or even college. Um, I also study. I use Quizlet. I use studying my notes, just retaining the information, because I know it's important when you have tests, you need to know it off the top of your head. Just study habits, quizzes, stuff like that, that'll test your knowledge and what you know, so you don't have to refer to your notes or like ask somebody for help, because when those tests come, you need to know the information to get a good grade. And grades are really important moving forward, high school, college, just to keep going to the next level. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. What do you plan on majoring in?
I plan on majoring in business. I want to be an entrepreneur. So I think business is a major that can get me to any route, because I also like sports. So possibly sports management when I get done with college. There's a lot of different routes I could take, but I feel like majoring in business could bring me to the general area of possibly doing whatever like future career I want to partake in.
All right, good. Are there any business plans or things that you have in the work already, or do everyone just need to stay tuned and look out for Sanai Price?
You stay tuned. Stay tuned.
All right, all right. As you go through the process of choosing a college to commit to, what are some things that you're looking for in that school?
I'm looking for somewhere that feels like home away from home. I'm looking for somewhere that's not too far, but not too close. someone that takes academics and athletics seriously, that you find time for both, because athletics are not forever. And so college prepares you for your future and your career and your lifestyle. And I want somewhere that is very diverse, inclusive, and somewhere that I could be myself and has people that are easy to be around. Just somewhere like a family, a family college.
All right. Are there some schools that are on the table right now that you, because you haven't made a final decision yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so are there some schools that you're kind of looking at? Is it a bowl of them that you're kind of looking at right now? Have you minimized your list?
Yeah, it's a bowl because athletics or academics wise, I have options to go for athletics or academics, SAT scores, ACT scores. So right now it's really just a decision. But right now I'm in the mix.
Okay, all right. So again, you all stay tuned because I'll make sure we let you all know where Miss Sanai decided to go to. But it's good. The awesome thing is that she's touching on this one thing, and I think I touched on it on another show. She has options, and that's because she's maintained not only her performance on the field, but also with her grades. And so, young people that's watching or listening, you give yourself a better opportunity to go where you want to go when you not only handle business on the field, but priority is in the classroom. So again, great job, Sanai, for really opening those doors for yourself by staying focused. What advice have you received to prepare you for college?
Some advice I received is to not have any debt. I know it's really important to not have any debt when you come out of college. Scholarships are very essential because a lot of people take out loans and have debt when they get older. And I know that going to college for free is a really big goal for me, at least, because I don't want to pay for college after. I want to be able to start my career, my lifestyle without having to worry about college and my loans in the past. Some other advice is choosing somewhere that you will be comfortable. Um, Choosing somewhere not just for the athletics, but for the academics and for the people and the coaches, and not just choosing it because it looks good or it looks good on a resume, or your parents want you to go there, or your friends want you to go there. Something that you want to go so that you're comfortable and you'll be able to live on your own since your parents won't be there. Also having time management and preparing yourself, taking college classes in high school so that you're ready and prepared, AP classes, already having good grades and a good GPA so that when you apply to college, you will be able to get into college that you want. Um, Essay writing skills, just being able to keep up with the college flow, because college is a lot different than high school. And I know that preparing for it is a big part of senior year and junior year, so that when you get there, it's not like a shock or surprise to you.
All right. That's good. That's good. So for those again listening or watching, I know many young people, especially being someone that does some mentoring, you don't always have people in place that gives you sound advice like what Sanai has received. So as you listen to the show, I hope you're writing notes and making sure you remember this as you go through the process, because she's giving some good advice on things that you really need to make sure are in place as you look for schools, as well as even preparing you personally for making that step to the next level. So thanks again, Sanai. Let me see. Next question. How do you balance? And I think you touched on this earlier, but maybe you could wrap it up. How do you balance academics with athletics?
Yeah, so again, time management. I know that practice and games and workouts, you have to have time to do everything really, even if you don't want to. You need to save time for school, outside life, family, friends, and I think it's important to have like a plan or a schedule or something that reminds you that the things you need to get done, because even though you can't always do everything, you need to make sure you're able to do the things that need to get done. So going to practice, but not having late assignments, or not going to practice because you chose not to do something the day before when you could have had time. It's important to ask for help, get like ask questions in the classroom so that if you're behind or you need tutoring or something, you can work it out with your coaches or your teachers so that you're not getting penalized. And yeah, just staying on top of everything. It's really important that you find time even just time for yourself too, also balancing school and academics
Yeah.
or school and athletics, it can get really fast paced and you feel like you have no time to yourself. I feel like also finding time to just say no to certain things and staying home, relaxing, that's also a big part of it.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you for that. What is it that helps you to stay disciplined? Like with your grades, with school, with athletics, just in life period. What are some things that help you to stay grounded and disciplined?
Some things that help me stay grounded are probably knowing that my actions affect my future and that everything I do is setting an example for someone else. Like I have a younger brother, and what I do affects him. And I know that lessons I learn, I can tell other people, friends, family, siblings. It helps me stay grounded to know that my actions are seen by others, and that you learn lessons from people before you. So just doing the right thing most of the time helps you stay grounded.
That's good. That's good. How important is it to have positive people in your circle?
It's very important, really. I feel like having positive people elevates you, helps you grow. They help you set goals for yourself and let you know the right and wrong things to do in certain situations. Having positive people, it just makes you a better person, in my opinion. I feel like if you someone negative, it brings you down and you're not believing in yourself. It instills confidence in you to have positive people. And it just lets you know that there's someone out there or around you that believes in you. And so I think that helps you just have a good circle around you.
That's good. And the last question, Sanai, who is it that inspires you in life?
In life, I think who inspires me is my family. Um, they always tell me stories about decisions that they made in the past that they wish they could have or should have changed, and I feel like that helps me know like what I need to do to make them proud and like how to alter my life just to make sure that everything I do doesn't have a consequence. Basically, doing the right thing and listening to their advice and taking what they say and not just taking it for granted, but using it to know how to move forward. Like not having debt, taking loans. That's a lesson to me. Like it's not just a story just to say it's a story because they learn from their mistakes and they want me to be better than they were.
That's good. That's good. Well, again, you all, we are at the end of another show. We were blessed to have another awesome guest in Miss Sanai Price from Charlotte, North Carolina, an awesome women's softball player, as well as she's just exceeding even in the classroom. Another great example. Thank you, Sanai, for joining us. I thank you all for joining us and listening on another show. Again, none of the information you get in the shows means anything if you're not intentional in applying it. So again, we're here to encourage young athletes to achieve their very best outside of the game. It is awesome to be great on the field, on the court, wherever you're playing sports. But let's also be great in life. Thanks again. Thank you, Sanai, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good one, you all.